The Grumman FF was a biplane fighter that first flew in 1931. It was the first US Navy carrier fighter to feature retractable landing gear. While innovative at introduction, it was quickly rendered obsolete by rapid advances in aircraft speed and monoplane design and saw only brief frontline service. The Grumman F2F was a single-seat biplane fighter introduced in the mid-1930s. It featured an enclosed cockpit and improved performance over earlier designs, but its short range and rapid obsolescence limited its operational value. It served only briefly before being replaced. The Grumman F3F was an improved development of the F2F and the final biplane fighter to serve with the US Navy. It offered better performance and handling, but was outdated by the time World War II began. Its design experience directly informed the development of the F4F Wildcat. The Northrop Grumman was a single-engine, all-metal aircraft developed in the early 1930s. It was used for record-setting flights, mail transport, and limited military roles. Its stressed skin construction was advanced for its time, but its operational military impact was limited. The Northrop Delta was a low-wing, all-metal transport aircraft intended for commercial and government use. It demonstrated good speed for the era, but had limited passenger capacity. Only a small number were built before being eclipsed by more capable transports. The A-17 was a single-engine ground attack aircraft developed for the US Army Air Corps. It was rugged and simple, but slow and lightly armed by late 1930 standards. It was withdrawn from US service early in World War II, though some saw limited foreign use. The Northrop BT was an early dive bomber design used by the US Navy. It contributed to the development of later aircraft, but suffered from handling issues. Its design lineage eventually led to the Douglas SBD Dauntless after significant redesign. The JF Duck was a single-engine amphibious biplane used primarily for utility and transport duties. It was not fast or heavily armed, but its ability to operate from land and water made it valuable in secondary roles. The Goose was a twin-engine amphibious aircraft designed for both civilian and military use. It offered good reliability and range, but was expensive to operate. It was widely used in remote regions where infrastructure was limited. The N3PB was a floatplane patrol bomber built for Norway during World War II. It was capable in rough weather but underpowered and lightly armed. Production numbers were small, limiting its overall impact. The F4F Wildcat was the primary US Navy fighter early in World War II. It was slower and less maneuverable than Japanese fighters, but was heavily built and well armed. Its durability and pilot training compensated for performance disadvantages. The TBF Avenger was a torpedo bomber used extensively by Allied forces. It was large and slow, but could carry a heavy payload and absorb damage. It proved effective in anti-submarine and strike roles. The P-61 was the first US aircraft designed specifically as a night fighter. It was large and complex, but effective when used with onboard radar. Maintenance demands and size limited its post-war usefulness. The F-6F Hellcat was a carrier-based fighter designed to counter the Mitsubishi Zero. It emphasized survivability and firepower over agility. It achieved a high kill ratio, largely due to these design priorities and pilot training. The Widgeon was a small amphibious aircraft intended for short-range transport. It was reliable but limited in payload and range. It saw both civilian and military service. The Tiger Cat was a twin-engine fighter with high speed and heavy armament. It arrived too late for widespread World War II combat and faced carrier compatibility issues. It performed better in post-war roles. The Bearcat was a lightweight, high-performance piston fighter. It offered exceptional climb and speed, but entered service after World War II. Its combat use was minimal, though its performance was widely respected. The Mallard was a twin-engine amphibious transport aircraft designed for civilian use. It provided greater capacity than earlier designs, but remained niche due to operating costs. The AF Guardian was the US Navy's first purpose-built anti-submarine aircraft. It required 2 aircraft to perform one mission, which was inefficient. It was quickly replaced by more integrated designs. The HU-16 was a long-range amphibious aircraft used for search and rescue. It was capable of operating in rough seas, but was maintenance-intensive. Its range and seaworthiness justified its long service life. The Panther was Grumman's first successful jet fighter. It was reliable but limited in speed compared to later jets. It performed adequately during the Korean War. The Cougar was a swept-wing development of the Panther. Performance improvements were modest and it saw limited combat use. It mainly served during the Navy's transition to newer jets. The F-89 was an all-weather interceptor designed for continental air defense. Early versions suffered from reliability issues. Later variants improved capability but had a short operational lifespan. The Tiger was a supersonic-capable fighter with limited range and payload. These limitations reduced its frontline value. It is best known for its use by the Blue Angels. The S-2 Tracker was an integrated anti-submarine warfare aircraft. It was not fast, but was effective and efficient. It served widely and for many years. The C-1 was a utility transport for carrier operations. It was slow and unarmed, but reliable. Its role was logistical rather than tactical. The E-1 was an early airborne warning aircraft. Its radar capability was limited by modern standards. It nonetheless filled a critical early warning role until replaced. The A-6 was an all-weather attack aircraft with long range and heavy payload. It lacked speed and agility, but excelled in strike missions. It was highly effective in its intended role. The OV-1 was a battlefield surveillance aircraft with short takeoff capability. It was vulnerable to ground fire, but provided valuable reconnaissance data. Its role diminished as UAVs emerged. The F-15 Reporter was a reconnaissance aircraft derived from the P-61. It was fast, but unarmed. It served briefly before being replaced by jet aircraft. The T-38 was the first supersonic jet trainer. It was simple and durable, but demanding to fly. Its effectiveness is demonstrated by its continued service. The E-2 is a carrier-based airborne early warning aircraft. It is not fast or maneuverable, but its sensors and command systems are critical. It remains highly relevant. The Gulfstream I was a turboprop business aircraft. It offered good reliability and comfort for its time. It established Grumman's presence in business aviation. The AgCat was an agricultural aircraft designed for durability. It was slow but robust. Its simple design suited demanding low-altitude work. The Gulfstream II was a long-range business jet. It provided significant improvements in speed and range. It was expensive but effective in its market. The C-2 is a carrier-based logistics aircraft. It is large and limited to transport duties. Its reliability makes it essential to carrier operations. The F-14 was a long-range fleet defense fighter with advanced radar and missiles. It was expensive and maintenance-heavy. Its capabilities justified its cost during the Cold War. The AA-5 was a light civilian aircraft aimed at private pilots. It was economical but limited in performance. It filled a modest general aviation niche. The B-2 is a stealth strategic bomber. It offers exceptional survivability, but at extremely high cost. Its small fleet size limits availability. The E-8 is a battlefield surveillance aircraft based on an older airframe. Its sensors are effective, but the platform is aging. Replacement programs are ongoing. The RQ-4 is a high-altitude unmanned surveillance aircraft. It provides long endurance, but is expensive to operate. It has faced competition from satellites and other UAVs. The MQ-8 is an unmanned rotary wing aircraft for reconnaissance. It has limited payload and endurance. Operational reliability has been mixed. The MQ-4C is a maritime surveillance UAV derived from the Global Hawk. It offers long endurance but high cost. Its effectiveness depends on integration with crewed aircraft.